what happens? I'm not here trying to win a popularity contest. Every time I have major media here, they say, well, when do you think you'll be big time on national TV? You know, do you try to get on TV? Do you try to? No, we don't want to be on national TV. We don't care. We don't care about being big stars. I was offered deals by two of the biggest syndicators in the country 8 years ago and 10 years ago, respectively. I was offered to be the new Rush Limbaugh. I was offered to be Glenn Beck, ladies and gentlemen, and I said no. And it wasn't hard to say no. The only thing I've got is my integrity. The only thing I've got is I'm real. I want to make history for freedom. I want my children to grow up free. I don't care about some big giant sack of money or people knowing who I am. I can't stand losing my privacy. Let me give the New Order news. I can be in England. I can be in Central America. I can be in Canada. I can be in Montana. I can be anywhere. And cars stop all over the place and get out and say Alex Jones and shake my hand. We've already blown you people to bits. Look at you. Your full program is in retreat right now. You're desperate. You're trying to con people back into the left-right paradigm. It's not going to work. It's over. We've devastated you. The question is, though, how fast can we beat these people? We've got Benedict Arnolds in our midst, in our general staff, and that's why we're losing a lot of battles and winning some as well. But we got enemies in the gates, enemies in our camp, COINTELPRO, running operations in all directions. In fact, print me the encyclopedia on Benedict Arnold. I want to read about Benedict Arnold on air for people. And all that matters is we win the war in the end, and that the Benedict Arnold and all his pomps and all his pimps be exposed. So I'm coming straight at you, buddy. You need to know that. And my listeners are coming straight at you. Because we understand what you're doing. All right, here is Congressman Ron Paul, who we salute. This is courage. This is honor. This is real. Here's Congressman Ron Paul on abolish the CIA, how they've had a coup d'etat over our government and our military, and how we need to, quote, take them out. Here it is.
And they admit, I mean, but they're almost like they lived in a different world. The military's down, the morale is down, the money isn't there. They're going looking for a couple more wars to fight.
Yeah.
It makes no sense whatsoever. But no, we don't have to worry. It's not the military anymore because there's been a coup. Have you heard? It's the CIA coup. The CIA runs everything. They run the military. They're the ones who are over there lobbing missiles and bombs on these countries. It's not even the military that does that. The CIA runs this. And, of course, the CIA is every bit as secret as the Federal Reserve. And yet, think of the harm that they have done since they were established since World War II. They are a government unto themselves. They're in businesses. They're in drug businesses. And they take on dictators.
Again, he said, take the CIA out there at the end. That was shot from the crowd. I'm trying to find a better version of that video. If you've got it, please send it to us. We'd like to include it in the film. But people wonder who Tommy Pilata is, movie producer that's put me in a few movies, Scanner Darkly and Waking Life, with Rick Linklater as the director. Tommy Pilata, when he was at college at UT, shot the video you're about to hear the audio from, with a long-standing show that ran for more than 15 years on Access TV in Austin. This is Ron Paul in 1989 being asked about the CIA. Here's that clip.
Let's talk about what could be the most explosive issue of this campaign if the mass media would get a hold of it and do something about it, but they're covering it up. And that is you were talking about the government involvement in drugs. There have been government investigations, there have been private investigations, and we've interviewed a lot of people, ex-CIA people, who have talked about the CIA involvement in drug operations for many decades. It's public knowledge, though once again the media are not saying anything about it, that Oliver North and his people involved with the Contras have been running drug operations, cocaine primarily, bringing it back into the United States. And there are other investigations which show that George Bush's office, Donald Gregg particularly, and the people he was working with, have been supervising an enormous drug operation, which once again was sending illegal arms down to the Contras and elsewhere, and bringing cocaine and other types of drugs back into the United States. But neither the Democrats aren't talking about this. Now, are the libertarians talking about this, and do they put this into the framework of the drug law situation that you're talking about?
We talk about a whole lot. Of course, we always have the trouble of getting the attention that we think it deserves. There have been a few Democrats have talked about it. Senator Kerry's office has done some work.
He's done a lot of the investigation.
Right, and I think he's on to something, and I think we've gotten some other information, too, of course, that the CIA has given Noriega over the years $200,000 a year.
Oh, yes.
And they kept feeding him money, even when Bush was the head of the CIA. I think George Bush is deep into it, well over his head. Somebody asked me once if I thought George Bush knew about as much what's going on as Ronald Reagan. I think George Bush knew a lot more about what was happening in the CIA, because I think Reagan was probably more removed from it, just by his own personality and maybe his age or something. But I think George Bush, through his office and through the fact that he was a member of this, head of the CIA, I think he was very, very close to it. He knows exactly what was happening, and I believe the rule that once a CIA member, always a CIA member. And I think it's awful interesting. Can you imagine? It would alarm a few of us in this country if all of a sudden we knew that the leader in the Soviet Union would be the head KGB agent, and here we take our head CIA agent and put him, potentially the head of our entire country. Unfortunately, I wish that we could get this information out, and I continue to talk about it, but I sadly believe that there will be very little said, which means that the Democrat aren't doing it. That means they're involved too.
They're involved also.
And I don't think there's any doubt about it. It was even some of it got reported in the Iran-Contra scandals. We did know that there.
We're going to come back with the rest of this, but again, this was shot in 88, released in 89. Austin Access TV interview, TV show that Tommy Pilata worked on. Tommy Pilata, from talking to him, I believe ran camera on this shoot. Be right back.
AirandAqua.com is your one-stop shop for some of the most affordable air and water purification systems available on the market today. AirandAqua.com knows exactly what doesn't belong in our air and our water, and they know exactly how to help you rid your home or office of these harmful toxins. Did you know that your skin actually absorbs more chlorine while you shower than from the water you drink? AirandAqua.com can help you eliminate dangerous chlorine from your water. AirandAqua.com carries atmospheric water generators, glass water bottles, chlorine-reducing shower filters, air purifiers, water ionizers, filters that remove up to 95% of the fluoride in your water, whole house water purification systems, solar-powered lawn and garden products, water testing kits, and more. Visit AirandAqua.com. That's AirandAqua.com. Or call 1-866-380-2782. That's 1-866-380-2782. AirandAqua.com. Purify your life today.
Hundreds of nations have fallen to tyranny in the last century alone. This is our last chance to not relive history.
As we're finishing off this agenda, they'll be pulling the rug from underneath Americans at home.
They have tremendous influence on our president and Congress, and they really are calling the shots.
I think it's incumbent upon all of us as American citizens to pay attention.
Fall of the Republic identifies the enemies of our nation, the criminal offshore cartel, hell-bent on destroying sovereignty, and on its ashes constructing world government.
Tim Geithner, Bernanke, they're arsonists. They're asking for more matches. And the Congress is saying, who do we make the check out to?
Today, seems like nobody does care. And right now in Washington, D.C., we have seen a fall of the Republic.
Get your copy of Fall of the Republic on DVD at Infowars.com or watch it online right now in super high quality at PrisonPlanet.tv.
Americans have heard much about change in recent times and are now waking up to the truth. Well, here's a few facts about your food you may want to change. Did you know that nearly 100% of the food on store shelves comes from a few corporations, and that most is genetically engineered, chemically sprayed, and transported great distances? Baker Creek Heirloom Seed Company, like you, wants to see Americans change and take control of their own food supply, one seed at a time. Over 12 years, we've become America's premier supplier of pure, non-GMO seeds with over 1,400 varieties. Gardeners and homesteaders know Baker Creek offers some of the most popular seed collection kits, like our large heirloom kit with 60 full-size seed packets for only $99. The kit contains 25 types of vegetables and comes packaged in a metal can for long-term storage for just $99. Look for our free catalog today at rareseeds.com. That's rareseeds.com, or call 1-866-OLD-SEED. That's 1-866-653-7333 today.
All right, let's go back and let Ron Paul finish up from 1988. Austin Access TV. That was a program that ran for more than 15 years that two UT professors ran. Tommy Pilata for 4 years at UT before he went on a few years later to make Slacker with Rick Linkletter.